Good morning and welcome back to Herning. We know you've been here all weekend. EUICC, the EUF Indoor Championship, brought to you by ULTI.TV. I'm Stefan Rapazzo here with Ravi Vasudevan. The final, Ravi, the open division. We've got Mooncatchers taking on VfL Gemmrigheim. What do you like about this match? How do you see it going? Tell me what you know, Rav.
First off, I've got to take a small breath and moment for that phenomenal women's final. If you haven't seen that one yet, watch this live. Sure, watch this live. Go back, watch that women's final again and again. It's a classic, instant classic game between Atletico and Örebro. Anyways, back to this game. We got Mooncatchers. I think many people consider them the heavy favorites here from Brussels. They're the top EUCF player. We know them. They haven't won EUCF yet, but top European team outdoors. They're also phenomenal indoors. The Belgian national team won this event 2 years ago. So we know all about them. Gemmrigheim, if you've never heard this name before, it's one of the clubs that makes up Bad Skid. So they got a lot of Bad Skid players you might have heard of. Steph Doscher, Jörg Reinhardt, Nico Müller, Marco Müller. But the person you got to watch out for is who you can see on this screen here, Anthony Bonfiglio. He's somebody that I'd never heard of before this event. I don't know if you have. Apparently he started playing with Nico Müller at the same time. They both started, but he just never found the love of the game outdoors and is so in love with it indoors. And he is a crafty thrower. He's got the scoobers, he's got the blades, he's got everything. The rest of Gemmrigheim plays more of an outdoorsy game, but he is the one, if they're going to have a chance against this Mooncatchers team, he's going to have to open up their offense with his throws. I'm so excited to see what he can do up against the top of Belgium.
Yeah, I asked the question, why isn't he playing for you guys outdoors that way? We've been trying to convince him for the last 12 years was the answer. And Bonfiglio, you know, you talk about a team like this with Steph Doscher, with Nico Müller. He's the leading stat getter, is Bonfiglio, 44, 37, and 7. And we are underway here. That pull is going to be bricked for Reinhardt to get things going. VfL Gemmrigheim in white and Moon playing in black. Reinhardt goes deep right away. Müller there. One throw offense kicks things off. That's what they most certainly need. Early efficiency to be able to hang with Moon. I like to see it out of the gates, Rav.
And we saw this in the semifinal. Nico Müller, known for being one of the best, if not the best handler in the open division in Europe. But here, with Bonfiglio on the field, he's actually been going downfield and being an attacking presence as a cutter more often. Here, Reinhardt, usually that combination is going to go the other way, Nico to Jörg, when it's outside. Here, I think he knows a lot of teams want to push him under, so he's exploiting that and getting options deep, getting the first score on the board for Gemmrigheim.
And Delas calls the brick, and there's some wonder if that didn't go through the cube, but Delas will bring it to the brick mark alongside Tom Blasman there, of course, a shift over from the Netherlands, from Grit Club. Jonkers comes under. Benjamin. Dan Demarais keeps his toe down. He had a collision with the wall yesterday, but feeling sprightly today. Scoop, Demarais, and thrown into double coverage. Not the best option there. Turned, and a chance for Gemmrigheim.
Gemmrigheim doing a good job of double teaming Demarais there in the end zone. That's what you need to do to stop that man.
Hartman and Doscher go back and forth. Hartman again. Now on the sideline, Doscher busts up line and some contact on the Yonkers mark. That'll be brought to 0 as he accepts. Hartman surveying options, scoops, far side. Doscher puts the toes down. You saw Bontemps and Demarais closing, but a nice start right now for VfL Gemmrigheim. They're feeling themselves.
It's a familiar position for Moon, actually, being down 2-0 to start the game. Here we're going to see that scoober, the double coverage to stop Demarais. He just misreads it a little bit or the throw's a little off. And then here the scoober from Hartman over to Doscher, finds that corner. Amazing stuff. Now, I say this is a familiar position. In the quarterfinals, they played against UFO from Utrecht in the Netherlands. Moon also went down 2-0, and that's what kind of woke them up. From that point on, they took kind of control of the game. We'll see if they can manage that here, but this Gemmrigheim team is here to play, Steph.
Doscher sends the pull. Blasman takes it with one hand off the pull. First cut comes under. Bontemps returns on the far near sideline. Bontemps gives the big one. It's Benoit Spappins, and he comes down and puts Moon on the board. It's 1-2 And a break in the back pocket for Gemmrigheim still.
Spoppin's a veteran of this Moon team. You see him track that disc down perfectly. He's been on this Moon squad for a long time. Kind of played on the last generation before they got as good as they are now. But he's a little older. He doesn't really play with the outdoor team all the time at the most elite tournaments. But he's always been amazing indoor. Mooncatchers used to come a lot to this tournament called Martini Cup in Groningen in the Netherlands. They would come and play against some of the top older Dutch players. And I remember Spoppins being a surprise, matching up on Eric Duisberg back in those days. Very, very good indoors. You can see why they still have him on this squad.
Yes, Spoppins top 4 stat getter on this roster. Very impressive. As Reinhardt starts throwing back in! Karklins, Arvids, holy! Leaving his feet in the end zone. Could have been a Callahan.
A Latvian import making himself known.
Karklins gets again a little wobble in the legs there as he catches it. Demarais trying to get the right cut, then goes to Betancourt. Karklins back to Vandenbroek. Looks at Oczynski, now takes Oczynski. Gaetan Vandenbroek to Louis Betancourt. And high for Karklins. He puts the toe down. Arvids doing it on both ends there. That is the double happiness, Ravi.
What an amazing play by Karklins, previously known as Orlovskis, in case he looked a little familiar and you didn't know this name. He changed it recently this past year after getting married. Wow, just putting the team on his back there. You can see why Moon tried so hard to convince him to play with Moon instead of Salaspils. Look at this play. Amazing body control. Just reach through, and now to clinch it, catching this disc. Little remnant of the catch he made against Sockeye in the World Ultimate Club Championships a couple years ago. Amazing play there from Arvids.
Well, that level sings up on the break side of things and puts Moon back in the driver's seat early. So as much as it was nice for Gemmrigheim to start smooth, momentum is back on the side of Moon. And who is it again? Arvids Karklins rises to the occasion on the help part. He'll pick it up and see if he can go the other way for Moon. De Mesmaker shoots, and Bakemans is there, and I think it didn't take long for Moon to wake up.
Johnny Bakeman's such a good player, usually a kind of finisher player for Moon's O-line when they play outdoors. This just shows you how deep this team is, that they can put a player with his speed and his ability on the D-line here, and you can see that with that finisher. Here we're going to see Karklins make the heads-up play, just skying over the pack, and then we're going to see Bakeman's just bolt into the end zone. De Mesmaker sees him and shoots him in there. He actually scored a Callahan against UFO in that quarterfinal. That kind of changed the tide for them there. Amazing play by the Moons.
Couple breaks in a row now for Mooncatchers. Nico Muller takes the pull. Bonfilio comes under. Demarais charging on him. Bonfilio goes to Muller. Now Dosher with the big markup of Karklins. Bonfilio sends the scuba. Hartman there. Great catch in front of Oczynski. Oczynski wasn't sure, but I was pretty sure that was in for the goal. And the whole crowd signals goal for Oczynski, so there's no two ways about it.
And that's exactly what I said. Bonfilio has these types of throws. Of course, Hartman had to make a pretty good play for this one. Look at this scuba. Full field, corner to corner. Let's see if he got in. Jumps in. Oh, I think this might have been on the line. I think that's one of the crowd giving the big play a little bit of extra juice, but it's going to count for him.
I agree. I thought his heel was done. In live, I thought that was in, no doubt about it. After the replay, no. One other thing that VfL will have in their favor is this crowd loves an underdog, and they are definitely going to be in the corner of Gemmrigheim to take down Moon or to get a good game out of this. As Demarais gets the under from Blasman. Blasman back again. Blasman shoots a zipper to Bontemps, and Blasman, a handy addition to this team. Apparently there might be some other Dutch coming with him once this team goes outdoor, but what about that shot, Robbie?
Yeah, great laser from Blasman into that corner. Has to be that fast, has to be that precise in order to allow Bontemps to score it in the front corner. Tom Blasman, great player. Had the pleasure of coaching him last year on the Dutch national men's team. He's really developing into a superstar on the European stage.
So 4-3, Moon up, a break. Karklins to pull. Floats one into Reinert. Oh, and chases his own pull down. He was hoping again for the goal had he wanted it and just begging for it. Karklins is taking over this game right now. It is the pull, the chase, up high, but looking for the hammer. You can throw just about anything to him. It is, that is going to be something Gemmrigheim are going to have to do something about.
And Karklins is one of the top players in Europe outdoors. I think indoors, his skill set is even more advantageous. You're going to see he just runs down the pull. I think that was actually meant for the handler from a person, but Karklins just gets himself in there, and then one-on-one matchup in the end zone, high disc. Who's going to stop him?
Nobody in this tournament. Muller. Bonfiglio comes under. Bonfiglio shoots deep. Great response. Reinert puts the toe down. They needed that one. Love the throw from Bonfiglio.
I told you Bonfiglio is going to make a difference in this game, and you're seeing it immediately. Two ridiculous throws to keep Gemmrigheim in this game. Down still a little bit, 5-4, Moon had the advantage. The question is, can they, they were a little shaky at the beginning, gave a little bit of error, gave Gemmrigheim the disc, allowed for that break. Can Gemmrigheim force something once Moon's O is clicking?
That is what we'll be keeping our eye on. Blasman, quick to Yonkers. Towards the sideline, Blasman gets it back and goes to Demarais, and somehow he handles that Pritch all over him. Demarais justifiably calls the foul. I'm just not sure how he hung on to that disc. Maybe because he's Dan Demarais. Blasman. Yonkers. Yonkers winds up, puts it away. Demarais comes back. Quick release and travel called by Pritch. Disc back in, Demarais goes quick to Blasman. Bontemps comes under. Sofiane Bontemps, and running out of options, hand block on it. But it was a fouling hand block by Hartman. Bontemps gonna get the disc back.
Just talking about earlier in this point, not surprised to see Pritch taking the Demarais matchup. Here we're gonna see that hand block that was a foul. Pritch was on Tommy Sambura in the semifinal against Otso, which was their best player, so not surprised to see him take Moon's best player in Demarais.
Yonkers. Flippers over the top and overcooked it. And a couple mistakes by Moon now. Doscher, will the Germans be able to capitalize? Not like that, they won't. Bounces off the chest of Thiele. And Moon now an easy goal to score as Blasman zips the other way. Those opportunities are not going to come with frequency. They've got to be able to take advantage of them when they get them.
They're going to be kicking themselves for that one. That was a great chance for a break, but Moon hold on to it as it is, and we got 6-4 lead from the Belgians over the Germans. Yeah, Ben Yonkers there with a little bit of an errant throw. He also made an unforced error of sorts against UFO with just a clap catch drop. Sometimes he's a super powerful player, but his head's a little bit out of the game. He can make a mistake, but usually after he makes one, he kind of centers himself and focuses in. So like you said, Gemmrigeim's not going to be happy that they didn't take advantage of the opportunity they had.
Reinert goes to Hartman on the other side. Very tightly marked by Karklins. Nico Muller shoots, and that's going to work. Great shot as Reinert runs into the net. That throw from Nico Muller at the back of the end zone, an absolute scintillator.
Nico Muller to Jörg Reinhardt, a matchup, combination we've seen a lot in the outdoor scene, working out well here in the indoors. As I said, Gemmrigheim is not, we see the old boys of Gemmrigheim there on the sideline. Not all a bad skid, they're one sub-club, but I do know that they brought two pickups that are outside of the Gemmrigheim club for this European Championship. Quite normal thing to do. That's Steph Doscher and Jörg Reinhardt. A couple good pickups, if I say so myself.
Yeah, not too bad. They're not going to slow you down any, that's for sure. This one hangs, Blasman takes. Scoop to Yonkers.
See Bonfiglio cross over to defense, taking the Blasman matchup.
Demarais, nice throw, what a finish. great vision, great mechanics, just in that low backhand release with a bit of an inside out on it to feed Blasman in the guts. Yeah, nice finish.
I heard from some people, I wasn't here the first day of the tournament watching Moon, that they were having a bit of a tough time actually finding where Blasman fits on the offense, and they're looking to figure out how that's going to work for outdoors as well. You can see now, after a weekend together at a tournament like this, he's fitting in quite well.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take long. Great players find way to integrate with other great players and onto great teams. The other player, you know, Ben Orts will be trying to find his way onto this team too, but I think that's going to be pretty good for everybody in black as well. Reinhardt goes to Nico Müller. Marco Müller wide open. We see a bit of a zone here by Moon that has now melted into a match defense. Hartman to Bonfiglio. He does keep his toe. And there was a travel called. Ooh, Marco Müller makes a heck of a catch just on the return disc. Müller goes to Hartman, now Bonfiglio, and very similarly just keeps his toe in a similar spot on that far sideline. Now he goes backwards to Marco Müller. Bonfiglio, crafty throw. Finds Reinhardt near the middle of the end zone.
Bonfiglio is really feeling himself in this game. Look at this, Scuba puts that, defense falls over, tries to do something about it, but nothing he could do. Jörg Reinhardt collects another score.
Bonfiglio in it. I don't know if we got that one right, but there's a timeout on the field. He's feeling it, Bonfiglio, is what I'm trying to get at. We're going to take a short break and be back with more action after these messages.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my! Somehow they do it! How about that Bonfiglio? He's feeling it, Robbie.
Yeah, let's take a look at how his impact has been so far this game. Nope. Yep. Yeah, we're going to see a couple of his throws. Here's the big scoober that gets to Hartman. And another blade. This one to Reinhardt in the corner. And finally, the last one we had was the scoober. We're back in action here, though, as Ben Jonkers gets the scoober over to Tom Blasman.
From the midfield, he goes back to Karklins. Karklins crossed over to play a bit of O after the timeout. And now Jonkers goes to Blasman immediately to Karklins. And he puts the foot down. A efficient use of space there by the Mooncatchers. The finishing touch, a great throw by Blasman to a receiver that's going to have a hard time being defended if it's not a great throw.
Even Jörg Reinhardt, a phenomenal player, cannot handle Arvids Karklins in that instance. 8-6, Moon have the lead. And yeah, we said it before, but that opportunity they had just a couple points ago to get that break, they're really going to be kicking themselves. That was a nice opportunity to equalize, and we'll have to see if they get another one. It's going to start with this hold, though.
Karklin sends the pull, Reinhardt's underneath. Around, but just around the hand of Louis Betancourt. Bonfiglio. He goes straight away. Can he do it again? Not this time. Louis Betancourt denies the fourth assist. In emphatic fashion, laying out into this sideline.
As he was running towards that, I didn't think he had the space to get there, but his incredible athletic play. Louis Betancourt, maybe not known to one of the stars on this Moon team, but start to get to know that name. I think he's part of the new generation.
Yeah, up and coming and in exceptional athleticism as Karklins opens up wide, streaking up that far sideline. gives the calming hands and then throws over to Betrancourt. He goes back to Vandenbroek. Oczynski, 2 hands on it. He throws back to the middle, Carclinch. And just a nice leading, wristy backhand. Bonfiglio was coming, but Beekmans is a speedy man to try and cover up, and even Bonfiglio's quickest couldn't deny Beekmans there.
That'll be halftime, 9-6. Look at Johnny Beekmans just running the spot. He loves that front cone. Very Joel Schlockett-esque for those who remember the 2016 men's final of the USA team there. Loves to finish points in that corner. We'll take a quick break here, but we'll be back with the second half action here in this last gold medal match of EUICC.
Welcome back. Second half action here. We hope you're enjoying yourself. Please do us the small favor of liking and subscribing while you're at it. Give us a like. It's very easy to do. As we have a look at these match stats, Ravi, anything stand out there for you from the first half match stats?
Yeah, of course the big difference is 4 breaks to 1 break, but it's not just about the 4 to 1, it's about the percentage of break conversions. Moon has converted every time their D-line's gotten the disc, 4 for 4, whereas Gemmrigheim really lost that opportunity. If they had gotten that second break and kept it even, would have been very, very important for them, but now they see themselves in a bit of a hole here, and that hole could extend even more because Moon's going to start on O coming out of half.
Yeah, it could be the old 2 for none coming off of a break. You're right, with so few chances, the one that they did give away was momentous, perhaps, if they can't find new breaks in the second half. Yonkers comes around and gives one to Delas, and then Spappen strong-handedly collects that one, throws to Desmarais. Desmarais looks to Delos, doesn't like what he sees, and pops one backwards to Yonkers. Desmarais gets 2 defenders going, which really opened up Bontemps. Now Yonkers. Yonkers back to Delos, and Moon have gone backwards. Now to Spappens. Benoit. Bontemps was isolated, and Doscher does a great job to get there. I think Bontemps knew he went through the contact, so he's apologetic there. The foul would have been on him, not the defender.
We talked about those opportunities, Steph. Here they get one off of the play of Steph Doscher. And can they capitalize? No Bonfiglio on the field, no Nico Muller, so other people are going to have to do it on the throwing end.
Hartman winds up. Oh, and Doscher can't hang on. Let it get over the head of Desmarais, and again, an opportunity squandered. They are few. They're now 1 for 3 on break chances.
I have to wonder there if Doscher was trying to milk it into the end zone and thought too much about that instead of getting the catch.
Pritz chasing behind Desmarais and putting a full body on him everywhere he moves. Bontemps goes to Yonkers. Desmarais gets a disc, puts 2 on it. High stall count, flipper over to the other side. Spappens, now Yonkers. Yonkers finds Bontemps in the middle, and quick, easy finish, Benoit Spappens. There again, getting another stat to his name, as he's been efficiently doing all weekend long.
You see there, Spappens just capitalizing on an exhausted Doscher. Made the huge play defensively earlier on in the point, almost caught what could have been almost a break, and then was chasing Spappens all over the field, and eventually thought, okay, I just can't fall him to the break side. I need to catch my breath. Moon will punish you when you do that. It's 10-6 now.
10-6. The separation starting to look a little more dramatic as this game gets further to the finishing end here, but Nico Muller and company will do everything they can. And Bonfiglio puts the shoulder down, anticipating a bit of contact there after the catch. Reiner goes back to Bonfilio. Bonfilio sees Bakeman's come off, and what a catch by Hartmans under duress of the coverage by Karklins. Now back to Marco Mueller. Mueller goes, and what a zip, Nico to Hartman on the hockey assist from Marco, but that was a beautiful finish, and again, the minimum they need is to get these holds.
Marcel Hartman, one turnover in his name for sure, but aside from that, he's been a phenomenal presence for Gemmrigheim this whole game. Really athletic, dealing with the Karklins matchup and getting the score there. We see now Bonfilio coming out to a D point. They're starting to stack lines to see if they can make some magic happen because they're running out of time here, Steph. I mean, yes, it's a game to 17. There's still quite a bit more space than a normal game to 15, but they know that they have to start getting breaks, and they got to start getting them soon.
Yeah, they're running out of time to put a spanner in the works of this Mooncatchers machine. Like, you're not going to get all these chances at the end of the game when there's no time remaining. They got to chip away and take them where they can get them. And that starts now, by the way they're calling their lines, Ravi. Bontemps comes under. Now Spabbins. He comes across and finds Yonkers open. Yonkers, nice, easy throw. Benoit, Sofiane Bontemps in all sorts of space there, showing his speed, and that's why they need to stack some lines, because they got to find the time they're going to make a mistake.
Yeah, you see there Doscher, who got the better of Bontemps earlier in an earlier point. They're getting completely beaten. It has to be said to the break side. It was just a bit of the mark not catching up to Ben Yonkers, but Bontemps, such a smart player, knows when a thrower like Yonkers has the disc in his hand. Cut to the break side. You're going to get it, and he got it. 11-7.
7-11, Ravi. Time for a Slurpee. I got to get one this weekend. Reinen goes to Nico Mueller. Nico Mueller to Bonfilio! And he wanted to. He was trying to put his body in launch mode, but that one just a bit too far out in front. Karklins finds the point of passage and walks it back to the line. Blades one to Oczynski, who has to show some strong hands to hang on. Vandenbroek. Looking upfield, has Betrancourt behind. Back to Vandenbroek. Oczynski looked off, and then Blade to Karklins. And again, puts it down. You see Bonfilio looking at the ground and going, yep, that one was in too. He's done it to us again.
They have no answer. Every time Mooncatchers get a D, it's going to go to Karklins. Either he's going to throw an assist or he's going to get a score. He's involved, I think, in every break so far this game. Just an amazing player, and it just shows the depth that Mooncatchers have, that they can afford to put a player like him on the D-line. How many teams in Europe could afford to have Karklins on the team and not have him be the star of your offense? Not many.
No, not many at all. I quite like the move with Moon. I think it's very good. Their defense is just now monstrous for him to be able to like kind of put the fingers on the wick of their best player and then aggressively play conversion offense. Hartman finds Nico Mueller. Mueller goes back towards the center, through center, in fact, to Marco Mueller. Doscher was open, but Nico Mueller gets in the dump space. Now Reiner back to Mueller. Mueller looks upfield, finds Doscher in the middle. Doscher left hand, backhand, gives it to Mueller. Mueller floats one over, and nice bit of offense by VfL Gemmrigheim. The score there by Marcel Hartman again on this board. He's having himself a heck of a game statistically wise.
Yeah, he's doing really well. I said it last point. What I like there with Gemmrigheim is that they kept the disc moving. They barely held on to it for more than a couple stall counts. I talked to some of my friends on UFO when they played the quarterfinal, and they said that was a little bit of the difference why the D-line offense had more success than the O-line offense, because the D-line offense just never kept the disc in their hands. And if you do that, eventually some of these Moon defenders will be off balance, and you just keep finding opportunities. Once you let them clamp down, they're so athletic and so good at poaching spaces, it's hard to move the disc.
Delas gets Yonkers coming back towards his own end zone on the far sideline. And now gone deep, and blown assignment gives Bontemps an easy goal on a tape-to-tape assist for Yonkers.
I don't know what happened there. You definitely know if Yonkers has a disc in hand, one thing you don't want to do is let a player like Bontom get free deep. And certainly not free deep by about half a field. Moon just in control here, Steph. Looking like the better team. They look like the best team of this tournament all weekend long. I think everyone was expecting it here. They're just showing how strong this Brussels outfit has become. And I think, of course, they're a top team outdoors, indoors, even stronger.
Yeah, it seems that way. Their game adapts very well indoor. We always talk about like almost their flamboyant, their flair that they play with outdoor, but indoor that is just the natural way of getting it done without any wind effect. Bonfiglio.
Speaking of flair.
Yes, absolutely. He slices one over and gets Volmer. Back to Bonfiglio. Bonfiglio goes to Reiner. Oh, Callahan! Ochinsky, he closed the line. Great defensive angle cutting against Bonfiglio, and Reiner threw right into it.
Yeah, you saw the space that Bonfiglio could get, but Ushczynski just read this play perfectly. Tried to put a little bit of pressure there, and look, there's Bonfiglio's open. If you can get it over Ushczynski, but if you throw it there while Ushczynski's looking, he's so good. And this is what I've heard from other players that have played against Moon this weekend. They tell me the scariest thing about Moon is that they poach positions, but they know exactly what they're doing. And right when you look, they're ready for it, and they'll close it down. And Ushczynski did just that here. Amazing play, 14-8.
Demarais coming over to play some defense. And Nico Mueller, hands on the disc. Goes wide and around, charging to Messmaker. Can't do anything about that one. Hartman goes back to Nico Mueller. Now Marco Mueller, right, zip through the middle. Bonfiglio now, Doscher, the target in the end zone. Bonfiglio. High stall count goes to Nico Mueller. He finds Doscher. Betrancourt was coming, but not coming quite quick enough. And close the gap, 9-14 rather now. Still a lot of work to do, but good to be back on that scoreboard.
Yeah, it's good to see Gemmrigheim, of course. They got here because they're a pretty good team. I mean, they're a lot of very big stars in the outdoor scene coming here and playing at this indoor championship. They're playing against a team that's a little stronger than them, so they're going to have a little bit of luck go their way, but at least they show those strong offensive points. When they're good, they're good.
Here come Mooncatchers. Let's see if they can stay good here. And that looks pretty good to me. Yonkers, quick throw. Spappins had to just kind of watch his feet for a second and fall into the catch. And that makes it 15-9. It looks like they might be able to moonwalk their way to a gold medal from here on out, unless we get some major heroics at a VfL Gemmrigheim.
Benoit Spappins with his third goal of the game. The 34-year-old, definitely a lot older than the rest of this generation of Mooncatchers, but making his mark on this one. You see him talking to Brice Fournier there on the sideline, the coach of Moon Cup, who lost in the fourth place game, but had a fourth place game, but had a pretty good run themselves at this tournament in the women's division.
Mueller gives a Bonfiglio throw to Bonfiglio. And now Bonfiglio backhands and gets Reiner to put the toe down. They're in the double digits. Good news there. Nice score there. Well set up. Use that far sideline after bouncing it. And a good response by the German outfit.
Great response, but 15-10. Mooncatchers is happy to trade away, and they could just get 2 more holds and they'd win this one. It's going to have to take some heroic efforts to start to jam up this Moon O-line. Again, Gemmrigheim's offense clicking, doing better now in the second half, but still got broken twice and haven't gotten a break back. Moon's O-line has been perfect so far in the second half.
Yeah, the last break for Gemmrigheim was the second point of the game. Here comes Bontemps, he winds up. Demarais comes down with one, rises easily, had lots of space behind Pritch, and Bontemps sends him a beauty of a backhand, make him look good going up and taking down a goal.
Yeah, Don Demarais been a little quiet this game. I don't know if maybe it was his injury from yesterday, keeping him a little out of the play as in the starlight as he normally is, or maybe Gemmrigheim is doing a good job of limiting him. But even if they're limiting him, you see just how deep this O-line is. Moon doing well. But he gets his second stat of the game, and Moon are now 1 point away from that gold medal.
Marco Mueller. Flipper over to his brother Nico. Nico Mueller gets Hartman inside. Now goes to either of Bonfilio or Reinhardt, but it was too far for either of them.
I don't know if they both slowed up a second thinking the other one was going to go for it, or if it was just too far. It was hard to say. But either way, Moon have a chance to finish this tournament on a break.
Championship point on offer. Ochinsky to the line. Chinsky goes under. Vandenbroek keeps his toe. Vandenbroek fires to Betrancourt. Seeking options. Looks to go back Taquin. Now to Vandenbroek. Quick play between him and Taquin. Spin around. Oh, and Marco Mueller gets the hand up and gets a block on Taquin. This will be a hold if they can manage it, but a very important hold after giving it away. Extend the game. What can they do about this? 11-16, Ravi. I mean, the task in front of them is monumental, but they live to play another point.
You got a Mueller to Mueller connection there for the score. Marco to Nico. Marco doing the work out there, the German women's national team coach, showing they can still play on this indoor stage. Great point there, but like you said, though there was a hand block, that was actually a hold. We see Marco there talking to some of the volunteers, maybe trying to figure out how many timeouts he has left. But Mooncatchers now, O-line out there trying to finish this up, finish up this whole tournament, finish up this weekend.
Glassman goes to Yonkers. Keeps his toe at the back of the end zone. Flipper over to Spappins, bit on the hip. Spappins goes back to Deluss. Deluss wound up the hammer and then put that away. Good defense, but Demarais comes under. I think we had a pick called between them.
Seems like a pick is called, but pitcher's going to say, Don, you're going to get that one anyways. Some discussion of where Spappins should be down in the end zone.
Demarais flips one over, Yonkers. Hammer, Spappins, and he's got done at the last goal to give him a gold medal. Benoit Spappins has caught the Moon, and Moon wrap themselves a gold medal around their necks for their efforts. A dominant performance, Robbie. They really flexed their muscles and showed they were not going to be stopped today.
Phenomenal show from the Brussels outfit. We knew it going into this weekend that it would take some luck and maybe something going wrong for them, for somebody to beat them, but they showed no. Had a little bit of a test against U4 quarters, but aside from that, they've had smooth sailing. This game was no different. Yes, Gemmrigheim put up a great fight, played a great game, even better than I was expecting, to be quite honest, but eventually Ben Yonkers to Benoit Spappins for the win. Lovely to see Spappins, the veteran, showing he's still got it on that indoor stage. Moon are your EUICC Open champions.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Thank you guys all back home for watching, staying with us all weekend long. It's been an absolute treat. As always, our calls to action. Hit that like button, subscribe for us, help the algorithm. And now is a great time for you to check out ULTI.TV/Patreon. Read about the good things we're doing. And if it's in you to support that, we encourage it very much. A wonderful weekend, a wonderful crew here. Our crew on the cams and on the ones and twos have not had breaks. They've been doing this nonstop. Chipson doing a wonderful job all weekend long. Noah Brinkworth downstairs right now, pointing that cam and doing all the wonderful things. And Felix Shardlow getting that job done, producing, directing, getting the good stuff onto your screens. My commentary crew, of course, Hannah Pendlebury, as always, bringing her eloquent style of commentary to what we do. Ravi Vasudevan, after a year away coaching, I know how it goes, coming back into the box. So happy to have him. And on behalf of all of them, this wonderful crew, I again am Stefan Rapazzo. I won't catch you next time today. We'll catch you next time at that next event. And we know you're watching and waiting. Thank you all so much for being with us. We'll catch you next time.
to get your attention. You make me nervous. In the corner of my best friend's sofa, you were getting buzzed on rum and cola. Wasn't brave enough yet just to talk to you. Not a smooth talker under pressure. Sweaty palms ain't making it much better. Something about you feels so special. Pretty ugly from the minute that I met you. I know that we just met the other night, but I can't get you off my mind. Not a smooth talker under pressure. Sweaty palms.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch,
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world
And
and beyond.
Have you seen our VO streams? Do you know that VO cameras are built for more tactical team sport analysis? The inbuilt tracking technology allows you to see the game in finer detail. That's why teams are already using it, and ULTI.TV and EUF are teaming up to help you join VO. Contact EUF administration to get more details.
Thank you. Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.